In part two, we went to great pains to sharpen this image to bring out as much detail as possible. This blur, this Gaussian blur, does nothing but remove detail. It's eliminating, we click this, you can see how this is an unsharpened version of the image, and there's lots of detail there. Once we add this blur, there's far less. It becomes more stylized. And stylized is the key word for the next step, because next is the find edges. And notice how this is really faint. The reason it's faint is because find edges doesn't work for anything other than making something very strange looking until you play with the blend modes. Now you can see when this found edges, it is really looking at those edges of the clouds like this, and part of that is because of that blur. And look at the edge around the image. I didn't put a black line around this. This is part of this step, which then changing the blend mode to multiply. And there are other options. Go ahead, try this yourself, see what you like. I wound up on multiply, and the way after, you're making a new layer, you're merging everything visible, you're converting to a smart object, and then for the find edges smart filter, it's under filter, stylize, and I promised you that word would come back into play, find edges. There is no intermediate dialog box. There are no settings that you have. There's no control whatsoever. Photoshop just does what it wants to do. Now, I will tell you, on some images, repeating the find edge command can provide interesting results. I tried lots of different options. I didn't go straight to these two steps. This is where I wound up because nothing else I was trying was leading to something satisfactory. So after you have applied the smart filter to this layer, to this smart object, and change the blend mode to multiply, you should have something similar to this. And look at this edge, and look how cool it is up here where the white is, how it kind of disappears, and it also does a little bit right there with this really light background. It's kind of orangish, dark brown down here. Really a sweet effect that is starting to appear. And I was really happy, really pleased when I saw this, but I knew the rest of this was going to print boring just like my other print, so there was more to do, more to search for, and unexpected results to be found.